vacation. It is 7:47 a.m. out at the cottage, out on the dock. I recognize that I have a kind of a green screen, blue screen right now, but hopefully you can hear the birds chirping, which is fantastic. So I want to be able to provide something that I learned the hard way over the break between, I call it, H1 to H2. I take vacation every year on the break between Canada Day, which is July 1st, to US Independence Day, July 4th. So that week, almost in the history of being an entrepreneur, I've always taken that week off. Vast majority of our customers are American. I'm Canadian. That whole week is quiet. During that week, it gives me a great time to reflect and to think and to document and so forth. Well, during that week, we had some customers that ended up churning off and moving on. And, these were not forecasted. These were not ones that showed up in the CSAT scores or showed up in the customer health. And these were not documented probable. And so we had to sit back and reflect. And my business partner, Derek, gave me this incredible quote that actually helped being cathartic and think about, okay, what do we do next? And here's the quote, and then this is what we did next. The quote is, knowledge, and everybody wants to be smart, but knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. That's great. But wisdom is knowing that a tomato doesn't go in a fruit salad. And so, using that particular quote, I went on this journey. My mind started to think more and more about root cause analysis rather than symptoms. A lot of times, and this happened, my business partner Nazmul had said, like, hey, we've got to improve our project management platform. We've, moving from Trello to Monday, and wisdom of owning 3 agencies helped me reflect on another piece of wisdom that I was given from one of my first business partners in Sales for Life, Amar Sheth. He always reminded me that there's a reason why it's called people, process, technology. It wasn't designed because it rhymed. It's an actual order of operations. 80% of all problems are a people problem. You fix the people problem. The great people help improve a process. When a process is codified and a process does not need to use tech, it literally could be drawn on napkins and taken photos of, or use a Google Sheet. If that process works, you use technology to either amplify or accelerate the process to relieve, mechanical rote, repeatable tasks. But it's not the opposite. You don't actually work through the tech and use it to improve process or people. And so, what did we do? Over the break, started thinking about little details around how we perhaps at the beginning of pre-sales, we are arming customers with more capabilities, can and can't do's, service level agreement details before pre-sales, improving the knowledge transfer and communication at the onboarding process. We started doing more alignment with talent management, a talent lifecycle management, and a customer lifecycle management. We started designing workflows where HR was more informed during the winning process of a customer and the onboarding of a customer, so that we never had capacity gaps. So long the short is, we worked on the people. The people then informed that there were some things to improve in a process. And only when you get those right and it's working and it's showing up in the numbers, CSAT scores improving, momentum of customer momentum and health improving, reduced churn, then you say to yourself, okay, I'm catching my teammates doing these tasks by hand. How can we buy back an hour of their time a day? That's when you apply technology. It is not the opposite. And another piece of wisdom that I'll always stick with is that it is process over platform. You get a process right, then you choose the platform to execute the process. This was a fundamental learning during the social media booms of the 2010s. I helped pioneer social selling. LinkedIn was a pervasive tool that everybody wanted to master, but over that time period, there were many tools, Meerkat, Periscope, uh, oh man, there's just so many of them that came and went. Google had a platform, Google Plus, I think it was called. So what was happening is every time a new social media platform came out, the head of enablement or head of revenue would come to us and say, I've got to learn this new tool. Like, no, you don't. You can't even get your sellers to optimize their LinkedIn profile. And until you can get a daily routine out of that, you don't need to master other platforms. And sure enough, every year, every platform fell apart. The only ones that survived in a business to business context was LinkedIn and now X, Twitter and X to some degree. Every other platform failed. And it was those that created a formulaic process that mastered LinkedIn. And then when they got LinkedIn Navigator, they could accelerate because Navigator was a technological breakthrough in the workflow, speeding up the workflow of an already great process, an account-based model. So the long and the short is, I'm going to repeat this quote for you. Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Great. But that does nothing for you until you have the wisdom to know that a tomato doesn't go into a fruit salad. And with that, when you need to improve something in your business, I want you to go buy a book by Dan Sullivan called Who Not How. This is also a big enlightenment in which, again, 80% of problems are people problems. And if you find the right who, the who's fix the how. So people, then process, then technology. Hope you found this valuable.